Ole'Pops here on a very, very wet, rainy evening. I'm sure y'all can hear it. Coming down, cats and dogs. And I'm sitting here snug as a bug in a rug in my very, very favorite spot on my front porch. Enjoying me a glass of bullet rice. A little sample of some McBaron's original choice. In one of my favorite pipes, a little near. Went this morning and helped the Briar dude pick up a bookcase. He bought me and Julie darling some lunch. After that, went to the grocery store. Oh, Mark of TBI. Something I wanted to show you. This is the Cedar Glue that I have left of the 8 or 10 that I had manufactured. This is the only one I have left. It's the one that I ended up keeping. I'm going to do a little work to it, clean it up. Been hanging on the wall in there. It's full of dust right now, but I thought I'd pull it down and show it to you. I need to clean it out before I play it. Before I blow dust through the birdhouse. Anyway, been mowing going on all day. I guess everybody's getting ready for the 4th of July. Went down here to the grocery store to pick up a few things and ran into my neighbor from 2 doors down. He stopped me, wanted to talk about his concerns about our next door neighbor over here. Seemed like he's got some mighty heavy, what he calls Christian concerns laying on his heart concerning the man. He wanted to discuss them with me, said he felt obligated. I thought he was just being a busy neighbor. Well, that's my gentle way of putting it. I told him it wasn't proper to gossip. He told me, he said he didn't gossip. He said he had genuine concerns about the man. He said that he was a fine, upstanding, church-going Christian man. I had to tell him that upstanding in church don't no more make you a Christian than standing up in a garage makes you a car. He said he didn't feel like he was gossiping. He said he had a clear conscience. I said, I maintain that perhaps it's a bad memory. I figured that would probably do it for that conversation, but no, he commenced to citing his grievances against the fellow like I was the president of the neighborhood watch committee or something. He told me, he said, Ole'Pops, he said, I think he is a drinking fella. And there I stood with 2 bottles of wine in my buggy for the 4th of July. And I asked him, I said, whatever gave you that idea? He said, well, he sits on his front porch at all hours of the night on the phone, cursing to high heavens. I told him, I said, well, I ain't got the slightest idea who he's cursing. You know, the man does have a foul mouth. So do I. And we do have a lot of kids in our neighborhood, but he's on his own property. Ain't none of my business. All my kids are grown, and we do have a lot, like I said, a lot of kids in the neighborhood, but at all hours of the night, if you don't know where your kids are, and it's summertime, and the kids aren't in school, and some of them are out, but if you don't know where your kids are, well, anyway, he looked over at me and he said, oh, Pops, will you just be serious for a second? I told him, I said, buddy, I am serious. I'm always serious. Even when I don't mean it. He said, I really think he drinks. And I told him, I said, I'd just soon he do it at home than out driving somewhere. He said, but I think he drinks and abuses his wife. I said, well, what's that got to do with me? I ain't never seen that. And he said, I swear the other night, I could have sworn I saw him hit her with a folding chair. I said, man, in that condition, you can't very well hit her with a table. Now, I'm doing everything I can just to get the guy to walk off, you know. I've lived here for 21 years. And I remember when the guy that I'm standing there talking to, I remember when he moved in. He's been here 15, 16 years. So he and I have been, you know, on this block, we've been here the longest. And the guy that he's talking about has been here maybe 3 years, going on 3 years. So he's new. he tells me, he says he don't work a lick. The man just don't work. He's lazy. And I told him, I said, look, I happen to know, I know it with a purpose, that the man is utterly fascinated with work. I happen to know it with a purpose. Why? He sits and watches me work for hours, 3-4 times a week. He sits and just stares at me while I work in the yard. I mean, after all anyone can do is the amount of work that you can provide isn't what he's supposed to be doing at the moment. Aren't you supposed to be shopping? Aren't you supposed to be shopping right now? Or are you supposed to be standing here chatting about somebody? Aren't you getting out of work right now or standing here? I'm trying every way I know how to get out of this conversation. Well, I told him flat out, I said, look, with all that being said, don't ask old Pops to follow you, because I ain't no follower. Don't ask old Pops to lead you, because I ain't no leader. You go your way, I'll go my way. Just leave me alone. Do your shopping, I'll do mine. I went to Briar Dude right there. I knew I heard that car. Ain't no other car sounds like that. Anyway, we started to walk off, and damn, he didn't walk the same direction I walked. And I turned and I looked at him and I said, just leave me alone. And he said, this guy needs help, Pops. And I said, okay. What do you want me to do? What do you expect from me? What do you expect? Is this going to be one of those, Christian stories that you're going to give me? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't you do it. Old Pops is a Christian. But I hate for somebody to beat a Bible at me that ain't willing to pick it up and read it. I asked him, I said, is this going to be one of those give a man a fish stories? He said, well, the man needs help. And I said, what you expect me to do is give a man a fish, reach out and help him. I said, you're expecting me to teach a man to fish. And what you're doing is giving a man a fish. To me, expecting me to teach a man to fish. And you're expected, here, imagine this scenario. He's expecting me to look at it this way. You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, you feed him for the rest of his life. Right? But he's passing it off on me, thinking, well, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but you teach a man to fish. Hey, I've saved the fish. And he's passing it off on me. And he's saved himself a fish. Right? Okay. By passing it off on me. So I told him, I said, look at it this way. You can build a man a fire, and you can keep him warm for a day, or you can set a man on fire and you can burn him for the rest of his life. Now, we don't need no more fountain of youths. We got enough youths. We need a fountain of smarts. Ole'Pops is smarting up. You smarten up. Here's what I want you to do. Next time you decide to criticize somebody, I want you to walk a mile in his shoes. You don't know what that man's got going on in his life. I want you to walk a mile in his shoes. Learn something about the man. Then, when you decide to criticize him, you're at least a mile away and you've got his shoes. Call him and criticize him. And leave Ole'Pops alone. I turned my buggy around and I went the other way. I looked back over my shoulder. I said, and leave me alone. I'm Ole'Pops.